Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play one-shot tabletop role-playing games with pace, vim, and vigor. I'm Guy, host of this, and also blogger at the Burn After Running blog. And today we are playing Public Access, a game, depending on when you're watching this, maybe still in Kickstarter, may have, it's funded already, so it's definitely coming, may be available to pre-order in Backer Kit, may already be out and be a great sensation at every local game store. Who can say? But for now, we're going to run through a tight one shot of it to show just how great it can be. The year is 2004. A group of kids who grew up in Deep Lake, New Mexico, have come back for the summer. In the 80s and 90s, Deep Lake was home to a notorious public access television station, TV Odyssey, which vanished into thin air. The source of much speculation on the internet. You three have a summer to spare. So you've come back in your early 20s to Deep Lake, rented a house on Rodenbecker Street, and are going to try and find out what happened to TV Odyssey and solve lots of other mysteries besides, although only one of them will be featured in the next 2 hours. Let's meet our Latchkeys and the people playing them, starting with my co-host, Gaz.
Hi everybody, I'm Gaz. I'm half of this, and I'm also half of with the Smart Bite the UK's premier RPG podcast. Today, I'm going to be Jason Fabiani. In a stretch for me, I'm going to have to play someone who's a bit of a D&D nerd, a geek, a role player, someone like that. I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll try and get there. So yeah, a big fan back in the day of the fighting fantasy books, stuff like that, Dungeon Magazine, and he still has his old Walkman from when he was a kid. He's got big frizzy hair, so the band over the top kind of causes a big dent in that hair, but that's fine. And he wears like cargo shorts. He's got a Triforce t-shirt with a Hawaiian shirt open over the top of it, that kind of thing. Never really grown up. Fortunately, someone in his family earns a real living, so he can carry on just kind of like trying to be a full-time GM, as if that will ever be a thing. But he tries. Yeah, no. For real. So yeah, he's still a bit of a kid at heart. So yeah, it means well, but he's probably not the best socially adjusted, and tends to live in his own imagination rather than the real world a little bit too much.
Amazing. I can't wait for the stretch of Gaz to play a 20-year-old obsessive role playing. It's amazing. Next, let's meet Tasha.
I'm Tasha, co-founder of Ukrainian actual play channel Idea Roll, and today I'm playing Megan Fabiani, older sister, might I say, of Jason. Yes, by whole 2 minutes. We're twins, and I'm the older one, I'm the sensible one, I'm the stronger one, looking out for my little brother. I am all into sports, wearing all sorts of really comfy clothes in which I can run, I can climb anywhere, I can do basically whatever I want, including sleeping if needs be. You never know where adventures will catch you. I play lacrosse professionally, and later in life, I hope to own a farm with loads of horses. I'm a horse girl deep at heart. Also somewhat big on dares. Not that anybody knows of it, except of everyone in town.
I can't imagine that'll get you into any trouble at all in the next 2 hours. Amazing. And last but not least, Stephen, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm one of the organisers at Edinburgh Indie Gamers. Today I'm going to be playing Stephanie Nakayama. So Stephanie is, Stephanie has ducked out of our college course and to take up a job doing research for a novelist. And she's now ducked out of that job as well to come back to our hometown and investigate these mysteries. So she's a high achiever in her mid-20s. Her style is she's got like faded jeans with holes in the knees, a faded Care Bears hoodie and a blazer over the top. She's quite nerdy looking. She's bespectacled and her hair sort of pulled back in her ponytail. Um, uh, yeah. as I say, she her shtick is a bit of research. She's always got her nose in a book and surrounded by papers.
Amazing. Maxed out that library use skill. That will
Absolutely.
get you probably nowhere in this game, to be fair, but it's good attempt.
Oh, thanks for that.
Never mind. So, would say at this point, Public Access is a horror game, and so there may be references to childhood trauma, disappearances, various things happening. Viewer discretion is advised. We're playing with all the regular safety tools that we always have in this channel, and we've got an X card in play, and we know about lines and veils and so on. Obviously, if someone plays an X card in this recorded game, we'll probably cut that bit out. But I would advise, if you're playing anything like this with player narration and tricky themes, definitely get safety tools out there from it. We'll also be referencing the 80s and 90s in our play, because this is quite a nostalgic game. We're not going to get everything right about that, and we're going to be pretty chill about how that works. You can, of course, let us know in the comments if we get the names of Transformers or whatever wrong, or some obscure reference to the Ninja Turtles doesn't work. We're also not going to dwell on those days sometimes being pretty tough for people with marginalised identities. It's our game, and we'll play it how we want. So that. We're going to start by just fleshing out the characters a little bit. Each of you has a room in Rodenbecker Street in the house that you've rented, and you've it's a fairly meagre little dwelling. Each room that you have, you've brought a few things along to sort of make it your own, which in your corner of the house will be useful in your later investigations. You'll have some gear that you brought with you for the summer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around, and each of you is going to briefly describe what your room looks like and maybe what it tells people about you. And then the other two players will get to pick an item that they think you've brought with you to Deep Lake. You have a power of veto over this. You can ask for an amendment or discuss it with it, but the other two players are going to do these. In the full game, you'd get 4 of these things. Because we're just doing a one-shot, you're just going to get 2 of these from the other 2 players to do it. So, Gaz, do you want to tell us about Jason's room? Let's go in the same order that we started.
Yeah, I think Jason's got a room that used to belong to the grandma or something, so it's a bit floral. And to counteract this is put up lots of movie posters of like Kroll and Hawk the Slayer and other things like that. So there's some classics, as he calls them, that everybody else probably hasn't even seen or heard of, that kind of thing. It's got what used to be probably the makeup station, or like the dresser that the old lady used to live here used. He's now got a painting station for his miniatures, stuff like that. So he's got his paints lined up and his brushes and all that kind of thing there. The curtains are quite often drawn. So he's got these like sort of faded yellow net curtains that hang over the windows. So there's a strange sort of retro light that comes in through that. And aside from that, he's got an array of clothes piled about the place, which he kind of picks up to sniff to see which one's the most likely candidate to be worn today if he has to go outside.
Amazing. We're getting a good picture already of the room. Tasha, what item do you think that Jason has brought with him?
I think he might have a set of like radios, like walkie-talkie type. Maybe a bit outdated, but this is something we used to play as kids back then. And
I think the word you're looking for is vintage, not outdated. And I still have the box.
Amazing. I love it. Stephen, what do you think?
I think he has brought with him a replica of the sword that Conan used in the movie.
Amazing.
Of course. And obviously these, as with all carved from Brindlewood games, this gear is wherever we need it to be at any one time. So don't worry too much about whether Jason is carrying around a massive replica sword with him. When it's important, he will have it to hand when he wants to use it. Let's talk about Jason's elder sister then. What's Megan's room like in the house?
Oh, it definitely used to be master bedroom. It's got loads of space and a big comfy bed, because good sleeping is very important to keep healthy and strong, which is super important for me, with nice thick curtains so that morning light does not wake up me earlier than I would love to. And I've brought along things that I think I might use during summer because I don't really believe that much into in this investigation thing we're doing. That old TV series, they were like really cool, but yeah, whatever. Though my little brother was really keen, which was the main drive for me to come. But I secretly think, or maybe not so secretly, that this investigation will take just a couple days and then we'll have the whole summer and the house rented. So I've brought like fishing gear and maybe some of the tourist thingies. I'm not sure what we will do, but it's summer in a small town and we've got lots of nature around. It's not like these big cities we moved out to. Would be nice. Would be nice to have some time united with nature.
Yeah, it's a tourist destination. The lake attracts
Lovely.
people all the summer. There's all kinds of things going on the highway. And from that, Jason or Gaz, what do you think Megan's brought with her, as well as those items for coming at the house?
She's brought with her the pungent jar of tiger balm, which is a natural cure-all that makes your eyes water when you apply it. It's got a very distinct smell, but it's always rubbed on injuries or other things, or to wake you up and that kind. It's probably vaguely carcinogenic and banned in the United States, but you get it direct from Thailand, so you've got a nice little jar of tiger balm.
Yeah. 2004. It's probably it's already illegal, but you've got it imported. It's fine. It's fine. Stephen, what do you want to give Megan?
Bright neon green rollerblades.
Ooh.
Rollerblades, amazing, fantastic. So let's look at the third room in this house. What's Stephanie's room look like, Stephen?
Yeah, so I think there's a rail with some hangers for clothes, but as the days have ticked by and we've lived here, the clothes have migrated slowly from the hangers down onto the floor underneath the rail. And like the tide of stuff discarded on the floor is slowly rising. There's no carpet visible anymore. It's just all stuff discarded. There's teetering stacks of books. There's like a whole sheaf of like fanfold dot matrix printout that's like been unfolded like in a long stream, sort of sneaking around the room. And like any effort to get into the room involves like pushing at the door and like forcing your way through the tide of just junk everywhere. It's difficult to believe that someone could make this much mess in the short amount of time we've been here.
Amazing. And in amongst that mess, Tasha, what do we think Stephanie has brought with her?
Oh, I'm absolutely sure she brought like the whole printer. Not the tiniest one too. She says it's quite comfortable to be able to print out whatever we need on a spot and not go in, to a library or somewhere else.
Oh
really
yeah,
handy,
no, that's really handy. Yes, yeah. And if it gets cold, like I can just stay warm by the heat of the laser printer.
Amazing. And this is on the floor in the middle of your room, presumably. Great. And Gaz, what else do you think Stephanie's brought with her?
I think it's probably one like a big old chunky dictaphone or voice recorder. So when you want to just make notes to self for later, or you want to record some oral testimony of someone or something like that for research purposes, you have this big thing with the chunky buttons that make good clicks when you press them.
Chunk. Note to self.
Amazing. So just for viewers and my players to remember, it is 2004. So your characters are living in the past a little bit, but it is 2004 on the cusp of the internet becoming like something that everybody used from here. But I'm loving the nostalgia already. So we're going to flash forward a few weeks now. You've not, probably as to Megan's disappointment, you've not had much luck finding out anything about TV Odyssey. It seems that it literally vanished into thin air. And even when you talk to people that you know around town, they lots of them don't seem to remember it or sort of look at you funny when you talk about it. It's as if it's never been there. But your fortunes are about to change this morning. When there's a knock at your door, when you go downstairs and answer it, there's nobody there. But there is a VHS tape labeled TV Odyssey sitting on your mat. At some point, you might want to watch that. But another mystery from Deep Lake has found you as well. Because later that morning, as you're maybe considering what to do with this VHS and whether you're going to watch it together or how you're going to look at it or where it might have come from, a young man, Casey Wilcox, shows up at your house. He's heard about your investigation of TV Odyssey. He doesn't know much about it, but he thinks you might be interested in another Deep Lake mystery, the house on Escondido Street. He explains that 18 Escondido Street has been abandoned since 1994 when the family that lived there, the Rappaports, vanished without a trace. Casey was 10 years old then and friends with Elliot, the youngest of the two Rappaport children. There was Dad Hugh, Mum Sherry, and Elliot's sister Abigail. He doesn't remember there being anything strange going on with the family at the time, which made their sudden disappearance all the more bewildering. 18 Escondido has become a local legend in the 10 years since. A classic haunted house right in the middle of suburban Deep Lake. People avoid it. They say it has bad energy. Apart from some minor acts of vandalism over the years, the house, Casey says, is largely as the Rappaports left it. And I'm going to pose a sort of paint the scene question to one of you now. And we'll do these periodically through the game as you come to new areas. It's a chance for you as players to introduce some elements here. Casey's story includes a detail that makes you think 18 Escondido Street is evil. What detail is it? And I'm going to leave that open to whoever has the first idea.
It has an animal cemetery in the backyard, like on the territory. It started when one of the owners of the house, they buried their cat in the backyard. And everybody, well, not everybody, but some people loved the idea. And whereas their parents would not allow them to just bury pets in the backyard, Rodenbeckers would. So there is several graves of cats and
So good,
hamsters,
Tasha. So
goldfish.
good.
Amazing. It's always good in these games when the players contribute to making their lives difficult. So I love that you start straight with that animal cemetery. Yeah, Casey. So Casey sort of tells you, he says, "Well, do you think you could find out?" Like, I'll sort of give you. Casey's got a blonde faux hawk. He's clearly sort of trapped maybe in 1994. You notice a little sort of waver in his voice when he talks about Elliot. Clearly, he's still a bit messed up about the disappearance of his friend. He says, "You maybe don't remember them. We're in different years at school, weren't we? But yeah, me and Elliot were besties though. So, what do you say?"
Verily, sir, we shall take this quest. Fear ye not.
Is that a yes?
Yes, it's a yes.
I think that's a yes.
Yeah, he says, and he shows you, he points out, like he gives you directions to where Escondido Street is, and he says, "Yeah, just let me know what you find. It'd be good to know. What happened to them." And he sort of looks off in the middle distance, and then anyway, and he says, "I'd better."
Oh, just one little thing. Do you by any chance have a VHS to borrow to us, like the player?
Like a player? He says, "Yeah, I could. I think I've got one. Yeah, I can drop one off later. Yeah,
Lovely.
it's fine. Yeah, that'd be cool. You can borrow mine." And he sort of wanders off, gets on his bike, and rolls off and leaves you there. So just if you look, I mean, not you, but viewers at home, if you look to the right of the screen, you'll see the mystery that we're trying to answer is what happened to the Rodenbeckers. You can resolve the mystery by revealing the truth to Casey Wilcox. Then you can, if you wish, you can destroy the house at 18 Escondido Street or perform some sort of ritual to banish the evil that resides there. This is a card from Brindlewood game. So nobody on this call knows what really happened to the Rodenbeckers, myself included. The players are going to find clues as they explore, and eventually are going to try and answer that question, creating a narrative where they'll weave those clues together to get an explanation. Then roll a dice to see if they've been successful or not, and try and resolve it. We've made a few adjustments to the game to make it fit into a nice tight one-shot, one of which is making this a complexity 4 mystery, which is a little bit lower than what it would be there because we're on a schedule here. But yeah, you've got the whole of Deep Lake open to you. I guess, Stephanie, you held your counsel while this was happening. Where do you think, what you may be open to discussion about what you do to investigate this place?
Yeah, so I think as always the best place to start is with research. And I'm sure that there is a county records office in town. So I think that Stephanie is going to embrace all the excitement of digging into some dusty ledgers and transaction records and find out who owns this place now, how when it's changed hands since the disappearance, and try and uncover some motive for what's happened from the records.
Amazing. So county records office. What about Megan and Jason? What are you going to do for your first investigation, do you think, here?
I'll just straight out go and walk around and see what's the situation like. How does the house look outside? Is the fence high and hard to get through? Are there neighbors with dogs or something? Maybe sneaky old ladies who like peeking out of their windows.
What
Just
about
walking
Jason?
around researching.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go with my sister, But
Sure, fresh air is so good for you. You spend too much time staring at the screen.
but that leads me to want to go
Yeah.
perhaps with Stephanie. So yeah, I'm going the research bent as well. I think I want to look at like the plans and things like that. I'm immediately thinking there must be a sewer system that connects to it, and imagine a dungeon underneath the house, all that kind of things. So I'm going to be looking at like that kind of the geography of the area and perhaps what families used to own the place going back generations or something like that. Maybe I don't know. I'll just be helping out in that manner.
Amazing. So Jason and Stephanie are going to do some research on the house, and Megan's going to go to the house, the evil house, on her own. That's what we've established.
Yeah, we're
I'm walking
starting off
around the
by
house.
splitting up.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'll make sure you take one of my walkie-talkies with you, though. I'm not sure it will reach what the reach is. I don't know if they will be able to speak to you.
Well, that's a great thing to check it out so that we know for future.
Yeah. Just
It's,
be careful with it. Don't get scratches on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2004. You've probably got Nokia phones and things and stuff to do. You don't need to worry too much about getting separated. In the long term, in the short term, obviously you do. So let's start at the county record office. I think we have. I think Deep Lake has just a library that's attached to this, and there's all kinds of it's probably microfiche, isn't it? It's where they're all stored on those big machines where you have to zoom in and do that. So what's your approach? As you go in, there's a sort of grey-haired, stern-looking woman sort of looks you up and down. Eventually, as you're sort of browsing the shelves, does approach and asks if she can help you.
Yeah, we're looking for the county's property transaction records.
Oh yeah, they're just over here. These 3 shelves.
And tell me, good woman, do you have ancestries? Do you have family trees going back? Probably with a florid picture of a tree and maybe shield with heraldry hanging off the branches. Such a thing would be most apposite for our quest. I'll smile.
Stephanie makes a little face and blanches in embarrassment.
So we've got the family records. Yeah, they're over here as well. I don't know about heraldry though. This is New Mexico.
I see. You are new to the area. Fear not. We are seasoned adventurers and I'll just start walking off in the direction she pointed.
Amazing, amazing. So, Stephanie, you're looking through these microfiches? Is that what you're trying
Yeah,
to find out?
I'm gonna hunch over the microfiche machine, my face bathed in the glow, and just enjoy the warmth and comfort that some the old records and newspaper articles offers.
Amazing, amazing. This sounds like a move, actually, because you've got quite a lot of these to get through, and they're not, it may surprise you to learn, they're not organized in the most straightforward way, funnily enough. So the meddling move, you don't have to contribute this. This is to roll, decide what stat you're rolling. Let's probably reason this, and I think you've got a special move that triggers
Yes,
here as well,
yeah.
don't
So
you?
I'm gonna use my you never know what you're going to get latchkey move. So once per session, when I do the meddling move, by looking through books, microfiche, old records, or online archives, I find an additional clue even on a miss. So hopefully I will not miss, and there will be 2 clues.
Well, let's see.
But
Let's
let's
see.
see. So my reason is 1, and I got a 6 on the dice, so that's a 7.
Okay, so you find a clue, but there is a complication you will encounter whilst searching. So I think you find the transaction records of 18 Escondido Street. What is unusual, although not itself a clue, is that it's not changed hands at all since the disappearance. It has, as Casey said, it's remained exactly as it was. For some reason, it's not been repossessed. The family disappeared and presumed dead now, but for whatever reason, it's not been reclaimed or
Sinister.
From all you can see, nobody has been to it from there. You are going to find some clues, though. The first one is so on the side of the microfiche are stored in. I've got no idea what microfiche look like. I'm going to just make it up.
Absolutely none. I
People
can't
put
remember.
it down. They're big machines, but I don't know.
I did this as a kid, but I really can't remember. It was a long time ago.
So they're in like manila folders, I think, and you'd have to open them out. There's some 18 Escondido Street was actually written on the manila folder that you found this in, and there was a sequence of numbers written on it again, not a phone number, but difficult to make it. So you've got your first clue is a sequence of numbers in an unusual place, which will appear on your clue thing. And you get a bonus clue as well, don't you?
I get a bonus clue, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Just give me a moment. I will see what I've got from there. Yeah. In fact, as you look through, as you sort of go to put it back in after finding all these records, you see that the other microfiches that are in this folder are all messed up. Like somebody's been here before and looked through this, and they've been put back in a bit of sort of disarray. And as you're sort of faffing around trying to get it back in the same place and sort them out, there's a scorch mark on the back of the folder in the shape of a pentagram. Shape of a pentagram. We see, but you don't see. This grey-haired librarian carefully, like the face goes along the shelves, just taking note of which folder you've taken out, and then we see a little phone call
would have been in on it
being made, and saying, Mrs. Head, yes, I just thought you should know that they're looking at got a young girl in here looking at the records for that house again. Might want to keep an eye on that. So we see this, but your character does not. Meanwhile, Jason is looking at the family records, but I think let's go back to the house and come back to you. So, Megan, you're walking around the outside of the house, so I can tell you what it looks like. Escondido Street is very much a sort of white picket fences, ranch-style house, originally built in the 1960s, sits on a half-acre lot with a small stand of ponderosa pines around it. And you can just make out there's a fenced-in backyard with a pool and the aforementioned animal cemetery there. There's some kids' laughter echoing on the street as they play in the road from there. And the squeaky whir of bike wheels as they do wheelies and stuff and play around there. Other than that, though, the street is empty. Going to walk around the house, maybe look in the garden.
I did want to walk around the house, but also you mentioned there are kids playing. Are there any like old ladies or maybe their mothers sitting on some little bench, sort of watching over the kids and being bored and maybe in a mood for some gossip?
I think there's not, but the kids look to be killing time. I think there's let's have a little old lady there from who's looking around. She's got smoking a cigarette, sat on a porch, just keeping an eye loose. You're not sure if she is one of the parents or just is keeping an eye on them or keeping an eye on the street generally. And she, as you approach her, she sort of looks up warily at you, crosses her arms, puts the cigarette out. Can I help you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can. I would love to hear more about the history of the town. You know, I grew here myself. I grew up here myself, but then I moved out, and now I'm back in here because you know what? I understand that I need to learn more about our roots, about where you come from. So I'm just walking around looking at these lovely old buildings. You know, they don't have this kind of thing in like new big modern cities. There is charm in old buildings. So I thought that maybe someone like you could tell me more about the history of the town, of the houses. For example, this one, it does not look like very much lived in.
Number 18.
I guess I'm just pointing across the street.
Something in her aspect changes, and her dyed red hair, the grey roots are even more visible. And she says, "You should stay away from that house. It's my brother's house. It's just wrong. It's cursed. Evil, some say. Give it a wide berth."
How interesting. How so? Did someone die here?
She takes a deep breath and says, "I should speak no more of it." She seems as if she's reluctant to open up more to you, unless perhaps you could make a move to win her over with your innocent inquiry.
I would love to.
This is, for reasons that will become apparent later, actually going to be a day move, because she's not going to offer you any clues, but if you win her over, she might actually support your investigation and give you some stuff to help. So when we do the day move, it's something risky because this is the sister of the father who inhabited this house. What you have to do, Tasha, is you have to name what you think will happen. What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve? So what could go wrong here?
I'm worried that she would inform like local authorities that somebody is sneaking around the house. That she believes that people should not be around there, and especially if you say that she is related to the owner of the house or previous owner of the house, she like can make a lot of problems for us.
She absolutely can. Do you want to make a roll with presence? We'll see.
Sure. I've got 0 in presence. How many dice do I have to roll?
Just 2d6, unless you can bring your tiger balm or rollerblades into it, which seem unlikely, but yeah, no, strange things happen.
I've got 3 and 3.
6, so that is going to be a fail, I'm afraid.
Ooh, can I maybe try and turn it into...
Yeah, you can use a key to try and boost it up to a mixed
I'm
success.
quickly looking through the possible keys.
But well, you've got some time to do that, because what happens is you find out what happens with that fail.
Okay.
First of all, if you see what I mean.
You know what? I'm probably trying, as I'm seeing that she's like not really happy to talk about this house, I'll try to involve myself into talking about something else. As I said, I'm interested in the history of the city, so I'm trying to find something she's happy to talk about, and maybe later to get back to the history of this particular house.
So yeah, I think she stays along with this, but seems distracted. But she does say, she says, look, it's always been evil, that house. She eventually sort of opens up. It's always been evil, that house. You should stay away. It's real bad juju. Real bad juju. And she puts a hand in yours and just says, promise me, child, you'll stay away. And there's a sort of chill goes through you. You're going to get a condition here. It's nothing to worry about. It's just the condition, haunted. I think maybe on the back of her hand we see the pentagram, a pentagram drawn on it as well.
Like a tattoo of an old lady's backhand. Oh my god!
Look again, it's not there, but yeah. But yeah, you get a condition of haunted. Are you going to use a key to boost that up and get some benefit from it as well?
I would love to.
Okay, so you can choose which key to do, and you can do the flashback in a minute. But I can change that over. She says, and as she's holding your hand, she says, "But look, I've kept it. We've kept it, despite people trying to tear it down. They might come back one day, you know. He might come back. If you want to look at it, just be careful. But if you can find out where they are," and she takes her hand away and brings it back and presses a key into your hand.
Yes, of course. If I find something out, I'll let you know. As I'm said, I'm interested in the history.
So just be careful. So you've
Always.
got the key to the house. You're still haunted, unfortunately. You're still 79 years old. She has touched you. You've been touched by a Rappaport, which may mean there's which flashback you do. You don't have to do it until later in the scene, so you can do it. We can do that flashback later, but.
Maybe a flashback to when I first discovered TV Odyssey.
Okay.
Unless you want me to take the Key of Desolation?
No, you can do whichever one you want. Do you want to do that flashback now, or do you want to do it later on? How are you feeling?
Yeah, sure, I can do it now. While having these chills running down my spine, I remember actually what brought me to this town, and this is my brother's investigation into TV Odyssey. And I remember how we were watching it for the first time, and it was a video of someone climbing up actually old building, and then sort of doing some tricks like holding down only sorry only holding by one hand. And things like that. And I was really impressed because normally I don't see things like that on TV. That's definitely reckless and dangerous to be shown to inspire. And it actually did inspire me to do some stupid stuff on a dare. But this was the first time, and I sort of remember that also this was something I probably was not supposed to do, but I did it, and it was cool, and I survived and did not even break any limbs. So maybe this time it will be good too.
Amazing. So yeah, they had like health and safety. Even in the 80s and 90s, there was health and safety requirements on actual films, not on public access TV though. There's this shot of somebody climbing the Deep Lake Observatory or something. Free climbing there. Amazing. As you get this key, let's just flash back to the family records. Jason, the librarian has left to make a phone call or something, maybe get a cup of tea. So you can look, these family records are all a mess in here. There's all kinds of sort of things in here, but you can certainly search through them if you want. It's probably a meddling move with reason, but go ahead. How are you approaching it?
Yeah, Jason's very much a visual learner, so he's looking for documents that have pictures in, or ideally heraldry. But if it's just faces or like snapshots or anything like that, or there might be a bit of newspapers hanging around if one of them won something or was in the papers for some reason.
Yeah, well, they'll be like it will have been reported their disappearance, presumably. So yeah.
Well, that was
Go ahead and
okay.
Go ahead and make the roll.
I only roll, even with my high levels of reason, I've only got a total of 6, so that sounds like a fail to me.
It does, indeed. You find the newspaper clipping of their disappearance that's just been filed randomly in here and get it out. It's really short on detail. It just says the family of 4 disappeared without trace. Maybe they left. There's some lurid suggestions that maybe they fled town for reasons unknown. Their sister. There's a picture of the old lady that Megan was just talking to, looking quite a lot younger, but no less sort of unhappy and haunted, looking quite grim, saying the sister still lives on the street, and saying that they a quote from the local neighbourhood association stating that the Rappaports were always good neighbours, always kept the yard clean, and were in good standing from one patient's head, the head of the local thing. You don't find any useful clues from it, but I think when you put it back in, there's just a bit of weird sort of residue on your hands that you sort of have to rub off. It sort of glows a little bit as you do it. As you roll it off, you get it off, but it stings a little bit. This thing, and I am going to give you a condition, which is, I'm just going to say ectoplasm.
Okay.
You don't know that that's what it is, but it is, and it's clearly it's come off now, so you're probably fine.
Yeah, I'll turn a key because I still want to get a clue out of this anyway. And as I'm looking at the residue on my hand, I'm reminded of a childhood trauma that I experienced, and it's in the classroom where we're kind of paired up for experiments. And there's some alkaline substance and some other stuff that the teachers told to be very careful of. Well, I'm too busy listening to my Walkman and I didn't hear that bit. So when we're messing about, me and my best friend back a day, at the minute it's kind of like pixelated, we can't see hers. I end up like knocking over the test tube, and the alkali goes all over their hand and starts to fizzle and pop. And I've tried to put it under water, which is the wrong thing to do, and make it worse. And there's a whole thing with the teacher, and I'm just like, I didn't know. Nobody told me. I didn't know. And like the whole class is just looking at me, and as I'm looking down at my own hand, and this stuff on it.
Yeah, and I think that is enough for you to remember that actually this might be useful, and you managed to get some sort of try to think what sort of sample jar or whatever you might have back there.
I've got some card sleeves for my trading cards, so I'll just scoop some.
So you get some in the magic card or whatever. Yeah. Get it. And that makes it a clue. You've still got ectoplasm, but yeah, you have got. You also notice that when you touch it, you feel a little bit lightheaded. So you have the clue is a strange residue that makes you feel lightheaded. Okay, we've all done some sort of investigation. I'm going to suggest maybe that you might want to meet up again and decide what to do. We're getting towards the sort of afternoon. I think probably of the day you had the thing launched and you've got that. You can maybe catch up and decide what you've got to do. But maybe room to do one sort of short thing before it turns into night, and you can see what's happening there. So where do you think you guys meet up again? Presumably you'd arrange this in advance.
I think we were going to go to Escondido Street, right? We were going to do our research and then go and meet my sister actually at the place, because there's only so much you can learn from books. You know, I know you said different stuff, but like sometimes you just have to go to places and look at things and speak to people. As uncomfortable as that is for some of us.
Probably not in front of the house itself, but maybe in the beginning of the street there is a little shop with milkshakes and things. So we're meeting there to exchange.
Like a convenience store on the corner.
Yeah.
And we can sit on the curb outside.
Yeah.
And then we can walk past the house on the way back.
Yeah,
I can go get like a booster pack as well while we get the convenience store.
So we can assume that you've shared sort of some of the stuff that you found out.
Yeah.
But what are you thinking about? What are you going to do? What's the next plan to investigate this? Do we think?
We have to go into the house, don't we?
Yeah.
Check out the grounds and see what's inside.
It's
It
almost
sounds
like
everyone
people.
else is afraid to go there.
Yeah. People trying to keep us away. It's a classic tactic of necromancers. They cause fear in the local populace and keep people away. We should definitely go in.
I mean,
There'll
I
be some
don't know
treasure
about
for sure.
necromancers. I was thinking more about corporate criminals and conspiracy.
Okay.
I'm
Don't know
sure
too much.
tons of people are squatting there, and kids are going in on a dare on like Halloween nights. So yeah, we can check it out too, especially since I've got a key and permission of the owner, co-owner.
She's the sister of she's a relative of the disappeared. Debbie Rappaport
Good
is her
enough.
name. You'll have found her name out.
That
I'm
sounds
sure.
almost as good as permission.
See,
Yeah. I mean, I always used to say better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So let's do it.
Excellent. So are you going in? Are you going to try and go in at the? You're going to go in at night. You're going to wait till it gets
No,
dark.
I think we should wait till nightfall because if people, there seems to be a lot of bad feeling about this house. If people see us going in, they might call the cops or whatever.
yeah. So that means that we have time for a nap before night adventures.
I mean, I suppose we could have a nap, but it's daylight and we're at a convenience store.
Yeah. I mean, we can walk back to the house.
Look, do it. Yeah, let's go back. Let's just get in the house. Let's just go. Let's jump over the backyard and we can get in by the back. Nobody's going to see us there. Come on. I bet you're dead. I dare you. That's right, Megan. I didn't know you were a chicken in your old age. Is that what being professional
I
does for
mean, we
you?
were supposed to go at night. I'm fine to go now. I've got a key. It's you guys who wanted to go at night time.
Yeah, let's go
Stephanie
now.
pushes her glasses up her nose and says, "Dares are juvenile."
Sounds like chicken talk to me.
Okay.
Oh, come on. I'll show you. They're marching out of the convenience store.
Megan, rise to it.
Amazing. So we're going to have a little scout of the house now, even before it goes to night. This is amazing. We might give it the night phase while you're in the house. That'd be great, wouldn't it? What could go wrong there?
Sounds good.
So as you approach it, there's a copse of ponderosa pines as you sort of go through. It's just getting to dusk. Again, we see the flicker of a curtain being drawn, and some sort of spectacles being steering out, and somebody watching. Not Debbie Rappaport from another side of the street.
Ooh.
But you don't see that. It's fine. As you approach this copse of tall ponderosa pines with sort of yellowing grass, you've got the front door, but you've also got the gate into the backyard, where you can just make out there's the animal cemetery, there's a swimming pool, and so on. Get into the back, and obviously that's covered up, so a little bit more. As you walk through these trees, though, as you enter the grounds, something about these trees makes you think the evil in this place is in the land. What is it? And anyone who has an idea can chime in.
So the trees are dying from the ground up. We
I
can
was going to say that.
we can see that the tops of the trees are still sort of green and verdant, but near the roots, the trunk of the tree is all sort of like withered and grey and crumbling away, and the roots are just like tiny spindly things, like a sort of very old man's fingers, like bursting out of the ground.
Amazing. So are you going to the front door or are you going to the backyard? What's your
I
thing?
think
Front
we're going through
door.
the back. Oh, conflict.
I mean, We
I
could
mean,
take
we've got
Timber
the
for
key
us.
and permission, and you've got me all riled up. I'm marching there.
Oh, okay. Front door it is.
Okay, so the key turns in the lock. You can open it through, and you enter into the sort of front room of this house. A sort of big open space. There's a maroon sectional sofa on one side, an entertainment center all on one wall, with a big like tube TV on one side facing the sofa. There's a VCR player as well that just sits
Oh,
at the bottom with the clock blinking at 12:00. There doesn't seem to be any other power on in the house, but the VCR for some reason still works. I've got a paint the scene question for you. And obviously there's a door going through to the kitchen diner and back out to the yard. There's also some stairs going up to the bedrooms and so on from here. Looking around, maybe somebody else could answer this one. How do you know that this was the most frequented room in the house?
I think it's how threadbare the carpet is. It's it almost, yeah, it kind of emulates the way the trees and the grass are sort of dying outside from the ground up. It looks like the fibres in the carpet are starting to die off as well. Although you can see well-trodden paths that go from place to place. In fact, some of them seem to just go to a wall rather than from doorway to doorway. And some just seem to walk straight up against a bit of skirting board that's going black and mouldy.
Yeah, it's all very well trodden stuff. But other than that, it does look like this room is exactly how it was left. I think probably as you stand in here and presumably shut the door behind you in the hope that no one will know that you've gained access, who you don't want to know. I think we probably see just the sun dip down and we enter the dusk phase now. The dusk phase is just a really, really short phase. If anyone's got any moves that need to resolve, so flashbacks, we can do those, but I think we've covered all of those. You can, at this point, if you want, attempt to answer the question. You'll be rolling at -1, and obviously you're in the house now, so that might be a little bit premature. And then you need to decide what you're going to do during the night phase. And the night phase is very, very tight, and the scenes are called by me, so it's not entirely up to you sort of where you end up, and things will be a little bit more dangerous. We'll probably, as a default, be doing night moves. The key question you have to decide now as we paint the scene is, are you going to watch the Odyssey tape that we're going to presume you've taken with you? You've got a VCR here, so you could actually watch that while you explore the house.
yeah, sure. I think
Let's watch
that's
the tape.
convenient.
Movie night.
Yeah. Don't worry about the fact that no power works apart from the VCR and the TV.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll still work. It's probably a separate, like, wiring thing.
Generator or something.
Yeah,
Generator,
probably. Yeah, it's on a different fuse board or something. And just as we see the sort of night go past, we see a phone picked up by some elderly fingers and a phone call made by the person that's watching you. So there is something on there. As the sun goes down, that might be a good time for us to take our first break here. So we'll take a few minutes to get charged up and ready to watch our Odyssey tapes. We'll cut it down for you guys watching at home, so it'll just be a few seconds. But we'll see you back on Escondido Street in a short while. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you are prepared. You've got your ready to hit record or hit play at least, because our Latchkeys are about to watch their first Odyssey tape. They've snuck into, as the dusk fell, 18 Escondido Street, discovered a working VCR player, strangely enough, although the rest of the power in the house seems to be off, and settled themselves down on the maroon sofa, put the tape in and pressed play. The label on this tape is Happy Jack 06 duress signal, pure white pretext. And as the sort of the fizzing sort of background clears, the show starts. This tape is an episode of Happy Jack, the Lumberjack and Friends, a children's show that aired on TV Odyssey. The episode opens on a scene where Happy Jack, a crude wooden puppet wearing a flannel shirt and knit cap with a plastic axe taped to his hand is comforting his friend Lucy, who is portrayed by a crying, live-action 12-year-old girl. Stephen, this is the first question for you. This episode is supposed to be taking place in the forest where Happy Jack works, but the set appears to be somebody's poorly decorated basement. What do you see in the background that will be out of place in a real-world forest?
Yeah, so I think sort of Stephanie's kneeling on the floor in front of this big gold television, and she's leaning forward with the light of the TV sort of reflecting in her glasses. And as she sort of peers into the background, it's like a drop sheet, a painted drop sheet in the background, but it's caught on something on the back wall of the basement that's causing it to tent out. And as she leans forward, you can see that it's caught on is a steel bracket that's like set into the wall of the basement, and there's a set of handcuffs that have been like um, snapped around this bracket, and there's sort of the other cuffs dangling loose.
Amazing, amazing. So as you're sat watching it and we see the glow of the TV, there's a sort of shuffle, a bang. It's as if a door's been opened and then slammed. Two doors, in fact, at either side of the house, and then there's a click. I don't think you locked the doors when you came in, but the door seems to have locked itself. Megan, you had the keys. What do you do?
I'll go check if the door is indeed locked. Just trying to open it and close it again.
Yeah, it's pretty stiff, actually. It doesn't seem to want to, even as you unlock it, it doesn't seem to want to unlock.
I'll try with shoulder.
Amazing, amazing. This will be a night move. The door seems to be forcing against you here. This is going to be a night move with vitality, I think, to try and open it and get it there. What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
I mean, you probably want some more from me, but Megan is afraid that she will damage this property. She just generally thinks that this is an old door, maybe because of humidity and something, it doesn't quite fit to the frame, door frame as well. And I'm afraid I push too hard and just break it, which would not be good.
Yeah,
but maybe you have something worse in mind for me.
I have to make it worse for you, I'm afraid. I think it'll make an awful lot of noise that we'll be able to hear all down the street, if you see what I mean, as you do this if you fail. Do you want to make the move then? You can back out if you want.
Yes, I've got one in vitality, I said.
Yeah.
Okay, so does it give me a +1 to the result or +1 die?
+1 to the result.
Okay, cool. It's a 6 + 1, 7.
So that is a success with a consequence. Let me just see. I think, you do what you intend or hold steady, but there's a complication of cost. Keep describes what it looks like. Okay, yeah. So I think you're able to sort of jam it open. You manage to push it open and maybe get something jammed in the lock so it won't lock again. As you do this, you can just see at the far end of the street, there's a cop car just very slowly coming down, just creeping down the street as if it's just keeping an eye out on what's happening. Its lights are on, but the siren isn't going. And you do definitely see a window on the opposite house, curtain sort of slam shut as it opens from there. But you're able to shut the door again, but have it so it's
I'm probably almost stumbling on the front porch with this door, seeing all of the situation, quickly locking it up and leaving something like in the corner of the porch
there's
to
like a
prevent
magazine
it.
or
Like,
something. To make it, amazing. And in fact, it's your question next, as the rest of you are watching this. Happy Jack explains that Lucy is sad because her parents abandoned her in the forest.
Oh no.
What did Lucy do to make her parents stop loving her? Tasha.
That is a very sad thing. Well, probably she did not look after her things and toys very well, and she like didn't do the dishes after the meal, and she left her toys and books lying around instead of bringing them to designated places. So that they said you're a mess. You're a mess to be with. So if you're a mess, you go out to the woods.
And they left her there. They left her there. Yeah, yeah. As you're watching this, there's another sort of bang comes in the house. I think the where you're sat, Stephanie, you're the nearest to the door to the kitchen. It came from inside that kitchen.
Yeah, I am going to stand up and I'm going to walk over to the kitchen and sort of slowly push open the door and sort of peer into the darkness.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in here. You can just about make out that there's a sort of small window. There's a bar window that goes through into a little diner, sort of mixed kitchen diner. The table is still set for dinner there. The source of the bang appears to be from another door, though, that leads down into a basement.
Oh.
And you just hear another sort of soft bang from down in there as well. What do you do?
I'll call over my shoulder. I think someone might be down there. And I think on the stovetop there's like a rusty pot. And I think I grab that in my hand and like sort of push open the basement door and sort of look down the steps. Hello? Is there anyone down there?
It sounds like a night move to me. Probably with composure. What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
I'm afraid that
I'm going to give you something that there isn't actually anyone like anyone down there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I am afraid that the door will close behind me and I won't be able to open it from this side.
Yeah, the stairs are very steep as well, so I think you're going to probably fall down those as well from there. Injure yourself. So make a roll with composure.
Composure. That is a 9.
Ooh. Amazing, amazing. So I think you hear another bang, but then when you go down, maybe you've got a little hand torch or something. It seems a reasonable thing for you to have.
The glow of my little Nokia screen.
yeah.
Soft green light.
Yeah, I think you do slip a little on the on the steps and just stumble a little, but reach up. The door is shutting behind you, but you sort of hold it open.
Yeah.
And you scan, and there's nothing particularly down in the basement. Just lots of sort of U-Haul boxes and things. One of those maybe fell and did it, but you're able to keep the door. As you stand up, though, you notice that your ankle's a little bit tight where you've just twisted it. So I'm going to give you a twisted ankle condition.
Yeah. Okay.
But presumably you want to come up. You don't want to miss any more of the tape.
I don't know. I need to see how this episode finishes. I sort of vaguely remember this one, but I can't remember how it ends.
Okay, Gaz. Happy Jack suggests Lucy should take revenge on her parents when she finally gets home. He demonstrates the manner of revenge on another puppet character, Sylvester the Squirrel. What does Happy Jack do to Sylvester?
Happy Jack says, remember why you ended up in the woods? It's because you didn't do your things. And you didn't clean the plates. And you need to look after that and help. So what you should do is come back with some fruits of the forest, little presents for your parents. Here, little squirrel, why don't you try these little mushrooms we've found? Bright red mushrooms with little polka dots on. They're my favourites. Yum, yum, yum. And then starts pushing these mushrooms into the mouth of the squirrel, which, like, one of the eyes kind of like on the beads of a bit of string, kind of not string, the thread kind of comes out, and it's replaced by a mushroom he pushed out. There we go. He's a little fun guy, isn't he?
Amazing, amazing. And just as you see the sort of a blue glow outside the house, and as you sort of peer out, you can see a cop car stops, and a cop is getting out, got a big torch, swinging it towards the door of Escondido Street where you are, looking around, as if he's going to be coming in any minute.
My walkie-talkie's got a kind of broadcast function on it, so you can use it as a bit of a kind of loudspeaker. So I'm going to switch it to that with a distortion and try and emulate dispatch. And we're going, all units 427 at 36 Palm Streets, attend if you can. And I'll kind of be trying to throw it a little bit to try and make it sound like it's coming from his car or something like that.
Amazing, amazing. It's probably presence because you're trying to talk him into something, I think, aren't you? What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
I'll just properly attract him to the fact there's someone in here messing about. Like, it's not that all doubt will be banished from his mind. There's definitely someone near his.
Yeah. And you might even call for backup, actually.
Might actually get on the radio.
Yeah, you might think it. So. Okay, yeah, make the roll. See what it is.
Okay. I roll an 8, and I don't think I've got any presents. No, I haven't, so it is just an 8.
Okay. So you're gonna buy a little bit of time, I think. There's a crackle, and there's a what you can't, but he just can't make it out. There's some. You can hear it. You can hear him talking from outside as he's shouting in. And he's like, "God damn it!" and goes back into the car and starts messing with the actual radio to get it and contacting dispatch that way. So you've bought yourself a little bit of time, but it's not gonna probably enough time to just finish watching the tape while he's in the car, twiddling the dials, trying to get it. Stephen, the final paint the scene question for you. The episode ends and the screen fades to black, but audio can still be heard. Lucy whispers something to anyone who might be watching. What does she say?
I think she just, whispers, Happy Jack, can I have some mushrooms too? And you can just vaguely hear the sound of lip smacking and
Yeah, eating. Amazing. And with that, the tape is watched. You know that there's a policeman outside who's going to be making his way in any minute, and we see him go, "What? No dispatch? Oh, goddamn kids messing with the radios again." Anyway, I'll clear it up at Escondido Street and then see. I think someone might be inside there. That's what Patience said anyway. But you know what that old busybody's like. As he makes to get out of the car and do it, and he's maybe slowly walking down the drive with his torch swinging at his belt. Sounds like you might need to make yourself scarce. Who's going to take the lead on that?
Me!
Amazing.
I'm really good in getting out of the places. I would love to use my, give me a second, how it is called? Latchkey move. Come with me if you want to leave.
Fantastic. So you can identify all the exits when you arrive somewhere new once per session. When you and any of the number of characters are facing grave harm, which you sort of are, you can be arrested. You can avoid that harm by narrating how you lead everyone to safety. So what additional exit have you found as you that will allow you to slip away from this policeman?
Well, obviously the back door, which Stephanie mentioned before. Conveniently, it's not far from here in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the policemen are approaching to the front porch and maybe even noting that the door is unlocked, we are at the same time quietly moving out through the back door and then climbing over the fence and finding ourselves on a different street, basically.
Yeah. Amazing.
Just evening stroll.
Yeah, and soon you are back at Rodenbecker Street with nobody any the wiser. And we see the policeman going, some kids breaking in, police messing around. She's always reporting stuff like this, always saying things are going on in this house. But I think we also see that the sheriff, he sort of shuts the door, but he doesn't. You'd expect him to maybe go in and have a look around and stuff, and you can see he's thinking of doing that, but he sort of decides against it, just shuts the door and like backs away quite quickly.
He sort of closes the door. It doesn't fully close because there is this old rolled magazine, and he's like with his foot sort of pushes it out of the way and then manages to close the door properly.
Yeah, and he sort of backs away from the house and then does he breaks into a little sort of dad run back to his car as if he can't get away from the house quick enough, and goes, and rather than driving away slowly, he drives away just normal speed, pulls away and goes off into the distance from there. And you guys can return and have a restful night in Rodenbecker. So we're back in the day phase. Well, before that, we have a little dawn phase where you can collect rewards if a threat was resolved. Really quickly as we do this, you did not resolve a mystery, but if you did any of the things on your dawn questions, you can get an XP for that. So I guess just shout up if you have one of those that you think you've triggered.
No,
I don't think I've been vulnerable with anyone yet.
I mean, I did share a memory of my childhood, but whether it was a good memory, I don't think it was.
It didn't sound that good, did it? No, it's not yet. Yeah. Never mind. And we've got no more moves to resolve during the last dawn phase. If you want to, you can swap those questions around. But given that you've not triggered any of them yet, you might want to leave them the same. It's up to you. So the day phase starts again. Now, in an ongoing campaign, we'd introduce a new mystery here, and you'd have to sort of juggle resources and investigate more than one thing at once, a lot like in the game The Between. But just as when we recorded that, we're going to just plow forward and try and solve the mystery of Escondido Street. So as you get up ready for the day, what are your plans to try and investigate this? You've watched an Odyssey tape. You've got a little bit closer to finding out maybe what's happening with TV Odyssey. But the mystery of Escondido Street is still evading you, although there were some strange noises and bangs, and that door seemed to lock itself last night. What are you thinking of doing today?
I think we need to gear up, get proper flash torchlights and maybe headlights and some multi-tool in case that old crooked door will get stuck again, and dress less nicely.
I look down at my old t-shirt and cargo shorts.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, so you're going to go back to the house. Is that the plan? Is that what we're all doing?
Well, that's what I thought we were doing, or what do you think, Steph?
I think we should go back to the house, yeah. There's more
Did
to
you
learn
notice
there.
it looked a bit weird in the house? There were loads of personal things lying around. We didn't check the upstairs, but it looked that they were not going to a trip or something. Just there was still some food on a table.
Yeah, it's really creepy. They really did just disappear, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess. Do you want to do we know anything about the family itself? Maybe,
No,
maybe they were just in a witness protection program.
Yeah, I had a good look for the family tree, but there wasn't
There's
one.
all kind of boxes and things in the basement. Maybe there'd be a clue in there.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So we'll cut to the house. We'll assume that you've got tooled up with useful stuff that you might need, knowing that you think that it's going to be that. Of course, in a game such as this, it doesn't necessarily provide any benefit at all. The only things that will be useful for you will be tiger balm, the replica sword, and all of the things that you've got in your room. We can assume you've got all of those things there: the dictaphone and the big printer, laser
Yeah, the
printer.
big printer, it's definitely along for the ride.
Yeah.
And Megan's lacrosse bag is just the right size to hold a Conan replica sword.
Of course, as you chuck the racket out and put this sword in without her looking. Amazing. Great. So we go back. You can see in the sort of soft light of day, the street's sort of still waking up here. The same kids are playing at the end of the street. We can also see a gardener is mowing the lawns of the houses, sort of working his way down here. But other than that, it's quiet, and you can certainly get through into the backyard of Escondido Street, even in the bright sunshine, without anybody disturbing you. As you go past the dead trees, turn the latch on the gate and go into the backyard that you only briefly ran through last time. This backyard there's a little bit of the animal cemetery that we've heard about, but there's also a swimming pool filled with shallow layer of sort of dirty green water, faded and cracked plastic furniture here, and large overturned planters with the soil spilled out on here. I've got a paint the scene question for you. The Rappaports clearly enjoyed one last day of fun in the sun before their disappearance. What do you see around here that shows you that? Again, anyone pipe up if they've got
a... I think there's probably there's an extension lead that comes out with like one of those portable TVs that's on like a little stand that's somehow probably with a bit of a gazebo over it or something, or under the shade of a tree. But they've got like one of those old big box. It's more of a cube type TV, not a flat screen, one of the old style ones. They were probably out watching the game or doing something while they were out here in the sun as well.
Yeah, it's unusual that stayed here and nobody's taken it, isn't it? For all these years, but nevertheless, it is there. Amazing. So, as always, as you're exploring the house, feel free to tell me that you're looking for stuff and investigating and meddling. We will call for moves to do things that are more challenging, as well as you encounter various stuff. And sometimes the paint the scene questions will give us stuff to do it. The only way to get clues really is via the meddling move. So you're in the backyard. There's a door here that opens into the kitchen diner. And then we know there's a basement there. There's an upstairs, a whole upstairs of the house where the bedrooms are that we've not been to before. What are you doing? Are you going to split up and cover the house more quickly, or travel together as a three?
I think we're going to split up to cover the house more effectively.
Yeah, the police could be back any minute. Like, we need to do it quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What sort of areas of the house are you going to do then? Are you going to cover, do you think? Stephanie, where are you going?
Oh, I've got unfinished business with that basement.
Amazing. Jason and Megan?
Yeah, I think there's something. I'm remembering the tape from last night and the mushrooms and the way there's mold on the wall stuff. So I'm going to check the downstairs, like the kitchen, to see if there's something there, and the other rooms there. Maybe leave upstairs for Megan to have a look through.
That sounds okay.
Yeah, I'd love to go upstairs and check out if there is like master bedroom or maybe some sort of home office with a desk. Look through papers or something to indicate why the family might have just disappeared so quickly.
Okay, so you spread out to cover the house more quickly. Let's start with Jason in the kitchen. You saw a little bit of this last night in the dark, but this was a small kitchen with a bar window looking directly into the dining room. Wedgwood blue trestle table. It's still set for dinner. Speckled Formica countertops are all around here, but the plates and cutlery are still out. I've got a paint the scene question for you. Based on what was left out, can you name one thing that was on the dinner menu the day the Rappaports disappeared?
Yeah, there's they've got their fancy steak knives out, so there's obviously some piece of flesh that they're going to carve up in some way.
Amazing. And what are you doing in the kitchen? What sort of things are you looking for here?
Snacks.
I didn't quite catch what you said. It's probably for the best, given your reaction. so, I suspect there might be something, either some poison or something, because that's what necromancers would keep in their lairs, or maybe with the mold and the bad condition the house is in, maybe there's hallucinogenic spores, or like this. It's that bad mold that makes you see things or gives you visions. So that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. I think there's some kind of biochemical weapon that's developed.
Maybe that's why you heard those noises last night. Maybe that's why it was. Yeah, yeah. Go for it. So exploring the place. Probably. Let me have a look at your stats. This is probably with reason, I think, as you're looking through the cupboards and trying to check whether these jars are actual jars or not. What you were? No, you don't. Sorry, you don't need to say what you're afraid. It's just a meddling move. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's not nighttime now. We're okay. The sun's streaming in through that window. I get a total of 7.
Okay, so you say you'd think that, wouldn't you? That you'd be okay from that. I think that there's not really, you find some mold and some mushrooms. That's there as you've gone. They don't seem to be anything other than sort of normal mold that you've seen there from it. The one thing that you do see though is that there's candy wrappers all over. There's like whole like sort of cupboards full of them, all for Reese's peanut butter cups. Not a sponsor of the show, by the way.
Yet, not a sponsor.
Yeah, candy wrappers for peanut butter cups everywhere. That is, in fact, a clue that you can have. So yeah, you find those. There is going to be a complication with that, though, as I think you find some more of that residue that you had. It's a bit of that in the mold as well, and as you feel a little bit lightheaded as you do it.
Well, I think I might turn a key so that I do spot it at the last minute and don't.
Before you like,
yeah.
Avoid that lightheaded condition that I'm going to.
Yes, yeah. Let's avoid that. So I'll flash back to a genuine moments of happiness as a child, and that's it's probably the evening of when I made the mistake in science class. And normally, as Megan will be able to attest, we didn't get treats of sugar and things like that in our house. It was all wholesome foods and things. But because I was just so miserable about what had happened and a bit of an outsider at school anyway, didn't have many friends, that my parents actually bought me a 3-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups. And I got to try some chocolate and peanut butter for the first time. And from the very first bite, it was like blew my tiny little mind.
Amazing. The sponsorship deal's on, guys. It's fine. Might be off later when you answer the question. But yeah, it's a delicious peanutty, salty with it.
For one, snacks were carrots.
Yes. Amazing. While you're finding these, opening the door to the basement, Stephanie, and going down with your torch now, you can see there's a smell of sawdust and rat droppings as you get closer down this thing, as you sort of limp a little bit, just wince a bit where you see the thing that gave you the ankle injury.
I can see the broken steps that I fell on and twisted my ankle against.
There's stacks of U-Haul boxes for moving here on like sort of rough metal shelves, and a disassembled Christmas tree in one corner. I've got a paint the scene question for you as well. Something about the basement makes you think the kids were terrified to come down here. What is it?
I think that the kids have like carved like warning symbols on the door frame, up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, so just down at kid height, there's like X's and the little skulls that are carved into the woods.
Yeah, hardly done. Yeah, amazing, amazing. But and as you get down here, like you can see, it's still a little bit ominous. It does smell quite bad down here. What are you sort of looking for? What are you
Yeah,
seeing
so I
down here?
think that I think Stephanie's going to start sort of pulling down these boxes and like I think she'll be like sorting through like family photographs and like childhood toys and like you know old trophies and memorabilia and um like bank statements, and she'll be just sort of sorting them and arranging them in chronological order, and she's sort of trying to build up a picture of who these people were and what was happening to them
Amazing,
from
just
the
on the floor in front of you.
remnants of their their lives.
So I'm going to say that this pulling down these boxes from the shelves and sort of
Hmm.
sorting through them is probably going to be a vitality
Yeah.
medley move actually here, because actually it requires you to be able to shift these heavy boxes
Yeah.
down
Uh-huh.
without
Yeah.
injuring yourself.
And she's a small lady.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah. Oh, that is an 11.
Wow, so you definitely get the clue. So yeah, there's a moment where you're
Yeah,
pulling one off,
it's like, oh.
yeah, you see the shelves sort of creak and look as if they're not attached to the wall or anything, and it's fully, but you put
Yeah.
it back and sort of get a little footstool and get it and manage
Mm-hmm.
to avoid that crushing you. You get the sort of photos off here. There's various photo albums and stuff, but you do find the thing that you find that's a clue is a family photo. Very clearly, the other, these are in chronological order. It's very clear who the two parents and the two kids are, except that this photo shows a third child. There's enough of a familial resemblance that this is definitely a Rodenbecker child. And it's just sort of, it was at the back of one of these, sort of hidden away, as if it's the only one with 3 children on. That's your clue, a family photo of a third child. Let's go upstairs. So, Megan, you were trying to head for the master bedroom. I think as you go upstairs, there's obviously a bathroom of no interest. It's not in the location in the mystery, so we won't go there. There's the 2 children's rooms in there, but also the master bedroom. It sounds like that was where you were going to go, if that sounds
Yes.
right. So the master bedroom is teal and mauve decor with seaside motifs on here. There's a big queen-size bed with a brass frame, and still lingering the faint smell of perfume from the mother. I've got a question for you. What here makes you think Hugh and Cherie were more focused, Hugh and Cherry, sorry, were focused more on their children than on themselves?
Maybe there is some books. There is a book on each side of a bed, like evening reading or something. And both of the books are on like children upbringing, like child psychology, pedagogical.
Yeah, pedagogical. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
stuff. So even in the evening in bed, each of them would read about how to be a better parent.
a
Separately.
lot of pressure on those kids, isn't there? I think. So what are you looking for here? How are you exploring the room? How are you looking for clues in this room?
I'm looking around and checking if there is anything which would indicate on some like papers or documents or diaries. For this purpose, I will also check under the mattress.
Amazing. Do you want to maybe a reasoning medley move to see if you can?
I would love to. Just let me check if I have any reason. I do. So altogether, I have a 9.
Okay, yeah. So you do indeed find a photo album there.
Mm.
It's under the mattress, which is an unusual place to keep it, but it seems it was in reach of everyone. It's labeled Summer Camp '93, which is the year before they disappeared. Um, and the album's labeled, but there are no photos in it, all except for the last page, which just has pictures of dead animals in it, put in as like a collage. So that is your clue. Summer Camp '93 photo album, empty except for animal. Just let me sort this out so I can actually, so you can read it. I've just got 2 lines so you can actually see that. So yeah, you find this and looking through that. As you're doing that, you hear you sort of glance out of the window and you can see that there's a woman making her way into the garden. Helmet hair, a striped polyester blouse, quite wearing chunky jewelry, certainly a woman of a certain age, maybe 50 something, saying hello, is there somebody there? Is there a problem?
It's not Debbie, right?
I'll call the police again. It's not Debbie, no. I'll call the police again if you need be.
No, it's Patience.
Inside. Somebody inside.
I'm stepping aside a window and taking out the walkie-talkie radio, whatever thing we have, and I'm like, we've got a visitor. There is a lady outside. Radioing my
Your brother.
companions.
Yeah. What do your companions do? They're downstairs, closest to it.
Yeah. I'm going to rush to the door and then look out through the fisheye lens so you see that really distorted view.
Yeah. She's shouting, yeah. Who is there? Who's there?
I'll listen at the door. And then I'll say, we're just cleaning up for the new owners.
New owners? New owners? Why they're not there haven't been any new owners. That's not has that old hag finally let it be sold? Amazing. That's great.
You'll have to speak to the lawyers.
She's about to make her way down it. He says, "I'll come and talk to you." Is you're trying to sort of fob her off and get her to leave? This sounds like a move, Gaz.
Yeah.
Probably presents. What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
That will be discovered. There's a bunch of meddling kids.
Yeah. She's going to find you in the house, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's right.
So yeah, I'm saying this. We've got. We're fumigating. You haven't got a mask. You need to stay out.
If you pause for that, it was quite untidy. Yeah, go and make your roll and see if you can get rid of her.
Let's see. The dice 8, and it was what was it? A presence, I guess.
Yeah.
Composure. Presence. Yeah, just 8 then.
Okay, she's fumigating. Oh, she sort of steps back and says, "Oh, of course." It's as if she's got like a good excuse to not go in the house anyway, and she quickly retreats to the edge of the garden, away from the trees and pine needles. And a new buyer. That's fine. Come round for. Would you like some iced tea? Awfully hot in there. Come round later on, and I'll get you some biscuits. You don't want to be working in this heat. If you're fumigating in this heat, you must be very hot. I'll bring round some refreshing iced tea later. or pop round. I'm just at number 24.
Cool. Have you got any Reese's peanut buttercups thing?
Says, I might have. Yeah. I've got some in. I'm sure. Yeah, just come round. And,
if you haven't, you should go to the shops first, and then we'll come round later.
Okay. And so you do get rid of her, but we see her go straight in, very excited, straight home. straight to her telephone, like begin ringing. A buyer for number 18. You wouldn't believe it. I can't wait till Debbie finds out. She must have finally done it. Putting the phone down, making another call, and she begins ringing around the entire town to tell her that. So you bought some time, but this is going to eventually bring you more attention. I think that makes success from that. While that's going on, Stephanie, you're still in the basement.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do down here?
So, I think I would like to see if there are any more clues. So I think I am going to sort of look back in the older boxes to see if there is anything more to indicate anything about this mysterious third child.
Okay, try and corroborate that clue or get
Yeah.
anything. As always with these games, there's no guarantee you'll get a clue that adds up
Of
to
course.
make it. It
I
could be
might find
absolutely
something
anything that you
different that's
find.
also interesting.
Yeah, that sends you off into the wild goose chase to give you more options. Go ahead and roll. I think we said it was vitality last time.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking, if you're sort of zooming in a bit, this could be reason actually, because you're trying to find specific things from there.
And I think I'm taking notes for myself with my dictaphone, so I think I'm clunking my dictaphone on and off, saying
Amazing. So this is with advantage then. So you're going to roll 3d6.
March 1992.
Yeah, doing a timeline and
second.
Obviously, the best way to do
second child wins regional baking competitions.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So roll 3d6.
Could be significant.
Yeah. Amazing.
So that is a 9.
Total of 9. Okay, so you are going to find something out. Amazing. Yeah.
Am I allowed to use a key on a 9 to bump
absolutely,
that up to a 10?
Yeah, absolutely. So you get something without any complication, because you are going to, I'm afraid, get some sort of complication here. I think.
Well, tell me what it would be, and then I'll tell you if
decide
I don't want it.
What you're going to do. You're going to find a smashed mirror in an unusual place. I think this mirror is, as you move, there's a sheet on the wall, sort of a backdrop. As you shift that away, you find there's a big sort of full-size mirror behind it, smashed to pieces. As you pull it away, though, your hand's just going to catch on it, and just cut a little bit as your blood sort of drips onto the floor. There's like a chill, and it's as if the house suddenly sort of inhales, and even the rest of you feel the doors sort of shake a little bit. You're going to just get the bleeding condition.
Yeah, I'm going to say nope to that.
Okay.
So I am going to use the key of the child, and I am going to flash back to the moment when I realized my parents were imperfect. So I think this is when back when Stephanie's at middle school, and she's come home as normal and waited for her parents to come home from work. They're accountant CPAs. They run a business in the town, but it gets late and they've not come. So she gets her bike and she cycles round to their office. And when she gets there, she comes into the front room of the office quietly, and she can hear her parents sort of arguing in hushed voices in the back. And they're having a hushed but intense argument about the missing money and an audit, and needing to put it all back.
Amazing.
And with that, she flees the office.
And as you put your hand on it, you just pull it away as you notice this smashed glass is really, and you look at your face is distorted in this weird image where it's the lines in the smashed glass make. Megan, something catches your eye. In the corner of the room, just behind the door, there's a boy, a maybe 10-year-old boy, bowl haircut, neon green t-shirt, just looking in. You see him and he darts away. No sound.
Yeah. Come back, you.
A door shuts upstairs.
I won't tell on you if you won't tell on me. I'm following him.
Okay, the door to the boy's bedroom, Elliot, is shut now.
I'm trying to, like, is somebody holding from the back or is it locked?
It rattles and opens.
Okay.
Elliot's room got a single bed, Ninja Turtle sheets, Matchbox cars spread out all across the floor like caltrops. There's a walk-in closet at one side. There's no sign of the boy.
I probably step on the entrance and just try to, like, talk to him, thinking that he's probably afraid of being caught in a place where he is not supposed to.
Go ahead and make me a day move with sensitivity as you try and talk to the ghost of Elliot. What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
Well, what I, as a player, am afraid of is that there is some evil presence, and if I fail a roll, it will somehow interact with me. Probably the ghost of a boy is afraid of it.
I'm going to make it worse for you as well, because this is, I mean, it can be a night move anyway. You're interacting with a ghost now. It's not even necessary, you know, this isn't even the boy, Elliot. This is some manifestation of evil with the house that's going to try and take its revenge on you. This is also going to make it worse for you. I believe you're haunted, aren't you, already?
I am, very much so.
You're going to be rolling with disadvantage with this sensitivity check as well. So if you could roll 3d6 and take the two lowest, and then add your sensitivity and try and interact with
a sensitivity.
Yes. Which is
you would be delighted to know that my sensitivity is -1. So it's a 6. -1 is a 5.
Okay. So you take some steps forward to it, and you see the closet door sort of creak open. As you take a step, though, your foot slides off the Matchbox car and you fall onto your back onto these. And we see the Ninja Turtle duvet fly from the bed and go straight over your face and smother you. You can't breathe. There's some brief muffled sort of before you do indeed die.
Oh no!
You can accept that or turn a key.
Let's turn a key. How about that?
Classic card from Brindlewood games. Somebody dies. Okay, so yeah, you can turn the key of the child or desolation, or you could do the flashback to a fun activity you used to do with their family at home. If you do turn that key, everybody gets to do it. I'm
actually looking at the key of desolation because this is the first time we are interacting with something not of this world. So it looks like this could be the key to saving my life and opening the door to something even worse.
Yeah. So there's a sort of moment of revelation as the sandstone arch is passed, and you realise what this does in game is it unlocks the dawn question. Did you receive a signal from the other side where you can refer to what happens in the TV Odyssey tapes in the real thing? I think in game we just see it fits quite well because this is like our first interaction with the actual supernatural. You see this flash before your eyes. I think what happens is, and this will boost it up to a 7 to 9. So I think you still slip on the Matchbox car, and as you reach out, you drag the duvet off. The door swings open just as it does, but you manage to put it away from there, and you can see that there's no sign of the boy anymore. You scared him off, but you are not dead, obviously. It was just maybe an image, a phantasm.
Can I add to it?
Go for it. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, as I'm falling and like wrestling with the duvet and looking into the empty closet and stuff, and then I'm looking at the other side, and sort of under the bed as I'm now lying on the floor, and I see that there is another boy under the bed, and he is showing me like. So there is another boy who was hiding from this boy who disappeared.
Yeah. Nice throwback to the third child there. I like it. I like it. Well, we're getting towards the end of the day phase, I think, and we're pulling it together as you've explored a lot of the house. Is there anything that people want to do before maybe you attract too much suspicion? Patience Heather knows you're here. She's rung around the whole Neighbours Association, apart from Debbie Rappaport, to let them know there's a buyer in here. Soon you're going to have to answer the question and see what can be done about Escondido Street. But is there anything anyone wants to do just while you're at the house, or even away from the house, to round off the day move here? Okay.
No, I think we're good. So, like, yeah, I'll be running around the house trying to gather the. Like, we've got to get out of here. Like, there's the woman from down the street. She's going to be coming back.
And there are some people. Surprisingly, lots of people in the street have come out to like prune their roses, and sort of even while the landscaper's working, lots of them seem to have come out to or find reasons to sit outside in the yard, looking to adjusting the sun lounges and stuff, so they face towards the house as they look at it. And there's a few. I think here's some conversation. It can't be fumigating in there. They'd have like a van with stuff on. What have they done? This sounds unlikely. We buy that place anyway. I bet they've not had a for sale sign up. They're doubting this story. But you can, if you want to, get out without attracting too much attention.
Yeah. Sweeping evidence into our backpack and running out with our hoods pulled over our heads.
Well, you know the way out already, don't you? You can go back.
Yeah, we will go over the fence, not through the main door.
Yeah. And we get to the dusk phase. Now, at the dusk phase, what you can do is you can try and answer the question here. So, as a reminder, your question was what happened to the Rodenbeckers. You can have an open, freewheeling discussion about what you think it does. Normally in these games, you might start off with a few clues, and then basically you want to include as many clues as you can so other people join in and say, oh, and this is why the third child is here. You want to resolve the mystery by finding out what happened to them. But then you have the option of, obviously you can tell Casey, but then you have the option of destroying the house or performing some ritual to banish its evil. And maybe get some new buyers, which is sort of your cover story that you've got. So if you're back in the maybe back in the convenience store, Jason has bought another booster pack.
I got a mythic rare.
Always finding these in these little backwater towns.
That sounds like a lot of rarity.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. What do you think happens? You've got I'll put one of the clues on two lines. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clues. If you can get all of them in, you'll be running with +3 to try and answer this.
Well, I've got a theory that this family was way too obsessed of being like of parenting and raising good kids, and maybe they were too much on punishing side if the children did not behave the way they wanted, and maybe they went a little bit too much with the punishment for one of the kids, so they only had 2 left. Maybe that third kid was not such a good boy. Maybe he was like, killing animals and stuff, and they might have sent him to a camp to become a better person, but he failed miserably. Maybe conveniently they said that there was a grave of a big dog in the backyard, but de facto it was a grave of a little boy who then started haunting the house.
So that covers the family photo with the third child and the summer camp photo album. I realise I've misspelt the first clue, so I'll just correct that. Do you want to chime in with what the other things mean? How are they linked to it?
So I think that the this child who they were having difficulty with, I think that he was just an ordinary child, but I think that one day when he was locked down in the basement, and one of these sort of harsh punishments, he tried to use like a satanic ritual to get revenge on his parents, and
Ooh.
he became possessed.
So what clues account for that? Do you think,
So
Stephanie?
the scorch mark in the shape of a pentagram is to do with the and the residue, the ectoplasm,
Yeah.
suggests like contact with some like force from beyond the veil.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily satanic. I think it was something that he contacted, but it was something. It was an old force from
Oh, okay, yeah.
before there was even the thoughts of God and the devil in this land. It was an old predatory animal god or something like that feasts on other lesser animals,
Ah, okay. I like what you're
and
thinking.
he had to prove his worth by killing the other prey. And of course, it was leading him to try and kill his own parents and his family. That's the path he would have been on had they not
Yeah.
got rid of him first. But then they
Mm.
couldn't hang around, could they, having killed one of the children?
They disappeared. Do we have an explanation for the sequence of numbers? The Reese's peanut butter cups. This sponsorship deal might be off in a minute, and or the smashed mirror in an
So
unusual place. As many of
the
these you can
paint.
get in, the better you'll roll.
Yeah.
As for the candy wrappers, I would suggest that maybe this was one of the scenes, so to say, of a kid who was like leaving litter behind and loving his
Yeah.
candy. And if he turned into a ghost, this is his manifestation that even after death, he continues to leave candy wrappers behind, claiming the territory.
Amazing, amazing.
I don't have anything for the numbers.
The numbers is the number of typical offspring each of the animals had that he had to kill in a sequence of escalating prey that he was working his way through to humans.
That'll work. So at the moment you're rolling at +2. Do you want to make the roll? Or you can try and get
Someone
smashed
should.
mirror in there and do it. Nobody will want to, but you could do.
I think we've got a very full and complete account of what happened here.
Yes,
Yeah.
Amazing.
let's
I think
just
someone
go
should
with
just
two.
roll dice.
I think trying to wedge the smashed mirror in here is just going to make it worse.
Yeah,
Yes.
go for it.
Please.
So
Roll it.
Stephen, roll it. You said you've got a
Okay.
full and complete account. So you're rolling +2. You want to get you can use a key on here, but you will have to all trigger a key to make this work. So
That is a 12.
Oh, amazing.
Ooh, wow.
So the answer is correct, and the opportunity can be pursued. Were we playing in the campaign, the big man, who is one of the characters associated with TV Odyssey, would also appear during this resolution. He won't, because we haven't actually met him yet until the end of this scenario. So he won't be there. But yeah, the answer is correct. All the things that you say are there. You can reveal the truth to Casey Wilcox, and if you wish, you could destroy the house or banish the evil that resides there. Do you wish to do so?
I don't think we should destroy the house or anything, but can
Really?
we?
Really? You don't think?
No.
Why not?
I think we should buy it and investigate further. We know the sister of the owner, who is probably now the owner, and we can present her with some of the evidence and say that we can buy it off her for some small amount of money, symbolical, let's say it this way, take it off her hands and continue our investigation, which might lead us to whereabouts of her remaining grandchildren if they're still alive.
What does
No,
the rest
one
of
of my
the-
friends was telling about a new game he's playing Cold Call Cthulhu, and he says like when these sort of things happens, you have to burn the house down at the end. That's what always happens.
Yeah, we might need some consensus. Over to you as to what we do.
Well, it looks like 2 out of 3 want to destroy the thing. So I let them do it and help them get out.
If we buy the house, look, we're not going to live there, right? We're not going to move
Yeah.
in.
No.
And I haven't got a job, so I don't know how we're buying like another house. Like, it just doesn't seem.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, as I said, if you want to destroy it, you can destroy it. I will assist in.
I don't know. It's 2004, and in a few short years, the subprime mortgage crisis will hit. Like, probably we can get a bank loan to buy a house at this stage.
Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, are you destroying the house? Is that the plan, to leave all this down where it was? Probably what I like to do with the end of this, at the end of these things, is to roll that into a sort of montage and have one roll to see how that goes. So how are you going to destroy this house, bearing in mind that the entire street is now watching it closely, and the police have already been around once and think there's something up? What's your plan for this? It's going to be one roll that one of you is going to make to try and achieve it. And we'll assume that you can tell Casey. We'll sort of gloss over to what extent the sort of horrific aspect of his friend's disappearance you tell him. I don't think he's going to be entirely resolved with it, though. Probably not the answer that he hoped to hear, although he didn't know what he'd be hearing. But yeah, how are you going to destroy the house and the evil that resides there?
I think there's a way we can leverage our bucket smarts at this point. I think we should we can leverage a way of making it a public health hazard, so that the local government has to destroy the house because there's diseased creatures living there and things like that. Rats have got in the walls, and there's dirty
Black
mold,
mold,
and
all those mushrooms. Yeah.
For sort of public safety, it needs to be pulled down.
Those trees could fall at any moment. Okay, so this is like a bureaucracy task to get local government to do it, as you're forging some reports in triplicate and doing it. Let's just roll this. I think this is a day move because you roll a 10 plus for it. You can obviously roll with, this is probably reason to do it. I'll ask all three of you, what are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve? What could go wrong here?
I think they'll do. The problem is they might decide to, instead of destroying it, they'll just take it into public ownership and then repurpose it and turn it into, I don't know,
student house or something.
Rent it out again.
Yeah, rent it out to another family. We've got a housing shortage in this area.
We've got a nice safe place for you.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, I like that as the consequence. That it'll become a bigger problem down the line. I think Jason's got the best reason, so it probably makes sense for you to make this roll.
Sure.
You can borrow my printer.
Yeah, thanks. Roll the 6 plus 2 reason. I've got an 8 in total.
Okay. So there is your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. I think that, I think this is going to happen, but your attempt to file this sort of all these reports, forged reports with local government, goes well, but the Deep Lake Chronicle, the local newspaper, also gets wind of it. It's going to happen, but there's going to be photographs of the three of you. Published here as house finally condemned, missing family house finally condemned, and there'll be an actual photograph in there. So you can choose to go through with it or leave it alone.
Go through with it.
I mean, I don't. It's a choice that these games have in a mixed success. I don't think I've ever known somebody not go through it though. So it's play hard is the advice. So yeah, we end with sort of a fumigation van actually pulling up, and men in hazmat suits going in and starting to place down. And there's an edition of the Deep Lake Chronicle with the three of you. They found pictures of you, Deep Lake locals investigate condemned house, with the pictures of Elliot, who we've seen as the ghost from there, and we see the whole thing sort of boxed off from there as we fade to black as the mystery of the house on Escondido Street has been resolved by our Latchkeys. Thank you to my players. Thank you for everyone who's watched along. Check out public access either at Kickstarter or in whatever sort of pre-order they have if you're too late with that, or at your local game store when it's been published and distributed and everyone's playing it. You can also check out other cards from Brindlewood Games on our channel. We've got The Between, we've got Brindlewood Bay, we've got lots of other examples of how you can look at it. We've got Rosewood Abbey actually as card from Brindlewood as well, if you would prefer to see something less horrific but no less inventive in terms of things happen. If you've enjoyed the show, by all means, like and subscribe, but don't forget to tell your friends about it. Channels like this, it all helps with the algorithm and helps to get us there. Check out Burn After Running, check out What Would the Smart Party Do, check out Idea Roll, check out Edinburgh Indie Gamers if you're in the area. And we'll see you in another couple of weeks for more Unconventional GMs.